Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, we're going to be covering the details for the upcoming character event, which is going to be featuring Final Fantasy IV's POROM. Now, with the release of this character event, POROM is going to be getting her level 70 because we are in the level 70 era now, and we're also going to be seeing synergy alongside POROM with her twin brother Palom, Young from Final Fantasy IV, and our current Lost Chapters character, which is Alice. It's also going to be seeing the debut of POROM's EX weapon, and the boss for this particular event is going to be a variant of those 3 Dark Knights. If you guys don't know what those enemies are, there's 3 of them. They generally like to deal a lot of AoE HP damage. They're kind of annoying to fight, and when we actually get to the boss fight, we'll be covering the details for the fight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and first talk about what POROM brings to the table, if she's worth pulling for, and if she is a character for fun or for glory. Let's start things off with her framed buffs. So she has 2, Light Arts and Light Wisdom. We're going to be talking about these buffs with all passives considered. Now, Light Arts can be gained from using the ability Cry or its plus variant. It is stackable up to 3 stacks with an 8-turn duration, and what it does is it increases the party's attack based on the amount of stacks, 10%, 30%, and 50%, and for your allies, it is applied as an aura, so as long as this frame buff is active on POROM, you get the attack percentages there. It also changes her Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus, and also changes her Cry to its plus variant when this framed buff is at 3 stacks. Her second framed buff, which is Light Wisdom, is gained from using her ability Mysidian Brilliance or its plus variant. It is stackable up to 3 stacks. It has a 6-turn duration. It also increases the party's max Brave based on the amount of stacks, 5%, 15%, 25%, and also, like I said earlier, same thing with Light Arts, it is applied as an aura to her allies. It changes her HP attack to HP attack plus, and changes Mysidian Brilliance to its plus variant at 3 stacks. The next thing we're going to take a look at are just her base commands with her plus variants. So Brave Attack Plus is a simple one-hit non-elemental magic single target Brave Attack that also heals the party's Brave based on 20% of POROM's max Brave, and then her HP attack plus heals allies Brave by 50% of HP damage dealt. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her actual abilities, taking into consideration all passives equipped. So her Cry and its plus variant will be healing the party's Brave by 50% of max Brave. It's going to be inflicting 30% defense down on all enemies for 4 turns. This does jump up to 60% defense down for the plus variant. It's going to grant POROM 2 stacks of Light Arts for 8 turns, and the Cry plus variant also has a 25% chance to inflict confusion to enemies, disabling their Brave and HP attacks for 1 turn. It also changes her Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus, and the max usage on this ability with all passives considered is 7. Her second ability is going to be that Mysidian Brilliance. We're going to be taking a look at it with all passives considered. What it does is it heals the target's HP by 30% of max HP. It is 50% for the plus variant. So this is a single target ability. You want to keep that in mind. Any excess HP heal is transferred to that target's Brave based on 300% of the excess HP heal. It will be granting POROM 2 stacks of Light Wisdom for 6 turns, and then the plus variant of this ability also grants the target a 70% HP damage reduction for 2 turns, and it's also going to grant that target a 20% max Brave up for 8 turns. It's going to be changing her HP attack to HP attack plus, and the max usage on this ability with all passive considered is at 9. The next ability we're going to take a look at is going to be that third ability that you get from the C level 65 passive. We're going to take a look at it with all passives considered, including the Bloomstone passive. So it heals the party's HP based on 20% of max HP. It also increases the entire party's attack for 3 turns, and the max usage for this ability with all passives considered is at 3. The final ability we're going to take a look at is going to be her EX ability called White Wave. You do need her EX weapon for this. What it does is it heals the party's HP by 30% of max HP, and then it has a brand new mechanic that POROM introduces called HP Overflow. So HP can overflow up to 120% of max HP. So any excess heals, in a sense, is going to be just added to that party member's HP, and you can tell because the indication is their HP is going to be changing color from white to yellow. And then it's also going to be healing Porom's own Brave by 50% of her max Brave, and then finally she's going to be dealing a single target HP attack. Now she will be healing other allies' Brave by 50% of the HP damage she deals. It's going to extend the duration of any existing light arts or light wisdom by 3 turns, and then at 1 out of 3 limit break, it's going to increase the Brave heal to herself and to the party by 60%. So 60% of max Brave to herself, and then 60% of the HP damage dealt to the other allies for the Brave batteries that she does with this ability. And then 2 out of 3 limit break, she's going to be granting the entire party a 70% HP damage reduction to the party for 2 turns, and this EX ability has a slightly slow recast speed at base. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at her crystal passive. So from 5 to 25, we have Cry Light, Chase bonus, Busybody, which is kind of cool. She gives a small speed increase to the party while buffed, and then Saiyan Brilliance Light. And then from 30 to 50, we have Receive Heal Up, Cry Charge, Buff Boost, Saiyan Brilliance Charge, and then her C level 50 passive is called White Mage's Talent, which gives the party a 10% attack and max Brave increase as long as Porom is buffed. Her next passives are going to be her 54 and 55, Light Arts Boost and Speed Up, which is a 40% max Brave and medium speed increase to herself while Light Arts is active, and then she has her Cry Extend, which gives her an additional usage to the ability, increasing Cry and its plus variance Brave heal potency by 20%, and increasing the defense down potency by 20% and extending the duration by 2 turns, allowing Brave Attack to change into Brave Attack Plus while Light Arts is active. And then her 58 and 60 passives are as follows: Light Wisdom Boost and Guard Up, which is a 40% max Brave and 20% defense increase to Porom while Light Wisdom is active. And then at 60, Saiyan Brilliance Extend, plus 1 usage to this ability, increasing its base and plus variant Brave heal potency by 100%, allowing the plus variant to grant a 20% max Brave up to the target for 8 turns, as well as that 70% HP damage reduction for 2 turns, and also changes her HP attack to HP attack plus while Light Wisdom is active. The final passives we're going to take a look at are from 65 to 70, as well as her Bloomstone. So 65 is going to be giving her that ability HP heal attack all, and then afterwards at 68 she gets an aura, which is Resonance of Defense, increasing the party's defense by 30%. And then at 70, HP heal attack all extend, which improves that third ability. And then finally her Bloomstone gives her 2 additional usages to her third ability. The last thing we're going to take a look at is going to be her artifact passives, which is going to be Bravery, Cry, 1-star, 2-star, and also the same thing for Bravery, Saiyan, 1-star, 2-star. They do the same thing. It just gives Porom a essentially a Brave battery to herself by either 5 or 10% when you're using those specific abilities. Now she also is going to be getting White Mage's Talent Boost, 1-star, 2-star, a 2% and 5% attack and max Brave increase to the party while buffed. And then finally, she's going to be getting buffed attack, 1-star, 2-star. She gets an attack increase to herself while buffed. If you decide to build Porom, you want to go for max Brave plus 330 because you could see that a lot of her abilities are based around her max Brave. It's like a percentage of this max Brave does this, a percentage of this max Brave does that. And then afterwards, you definitely want to go for White Mage's Talent Boost. Because Porom doesn't really have any effective way to Brave shave, you could consider putting attack plus 108, but honestly, I would just stick to those 2 artifact passives to fully build up Porom to her maximum potential. I know that was a lot of information to take in, but after we know all of that, what are my thoughts on this character? Is this character for fun or for glory? And is she going to be worth your gems, your tickets to invest in? Porom is a character that's been highly talked about in the community, especially if you've been playing JP alongside Global, because what she excels at is 1, keeping your party alive. 2, she allows you to play more offensively effectively. Look at what she does. First of all, she increases the party's attack and max Brave with her 2 framed buffs, and she also has her C level 50 or passive, which also provides an aura increasing those stats further. And then afterwards, she batteries the party constantly. Okay, with her Cry. She also has ways to do shenanigans to the opposing, the enemies by reducing their defense and also being able to apply that confusion at at a 25% success rate, which is actually not bad. That's 1 out of 4 chance that you can actually apply that confusion rate. And then her second ability is just amazing. She heals you. Any excess heal is given to that target member's brave by 300%, which is crazy. And then she has that HP damage reduction, which is such a lifesaver. I can't tell you how many times on the JP side of the game when I use Porom, that just saves me so many times, because let's say a boss targets you for 10,000 damage, right? You have that HP damage reduction, that's getting reduced by 70%. So you're only going to take, what, 3,000 damage? That is a crazy ability that is very unique to Porom's kit. And then finally, that EX ability, it's good that she actually deals damage with it, because one of the things that Porom struggles with is that she is not turn efficient, because she's constantly just spamming her support abilities, and then she's either just going to do her HP attack, and then she's going to have access to her EX, which also deals HP damage. So not a damage dealer, not turn efficient, but just the amount of survivability that she provides, and also the fact that she can enhance your offensive capabilities, allow you to play more aggressively, taking a little bit more of a risk when you're approaching, you know, aggressively against particular bosses, because as we know, turn count with the Cosmos era, it does matter if you want to hit those high scores. Porom is a character that is definitely for glory. Now, to make her chaos viable, talking about the future, because this character is actually very chaos viable. She actually will last you for a long time. You're gonna want her entire kit, especially that EX weapon, because the fact that she can provide that 70% HP damage reduction now to the entire party as long as she has that EX weapon, fully max limit broken, is so powerful. And then also just take a look at how many ability uses she has. She has 7 for Cry and then 9 for Mysidian Brilliance. So she's gonna be providing you a ton of support. And then not to mention her EX actually has a normal recast speed when you fully max limit break it. So you could be relying on it quite often. Again, her only real weakness is not a very effective Brave Shaver, and she's not turn efficient, but the fact that she could provide so much survivability is amazing. So I highly recommend that you guys try to invest in this character, especially when the Chaos era actually hits, because Porom is going to be saving you from so many dangerous situations. So definitely a character for glory. Now, if you decide to pass on her, there's characters that are decent alternatives, such as Lena. Lena works a little differently. She provides you residual, gradual HP, you know, keeping your HP up with her HP regen, and also she has her debuff immunity, which Porom actually doesn't have. So if you have Lena, it is possible to skip Porom, but honestly, I would at least try to throw some resources at her, because she is going to be a very powerful support character, keeping you alive, allowing you to play more aggressively. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the banner that's going to be coming out. Now, the 15 and 35 CP weapons that are going to be repeating are going to be for her twin brother Palom, and also for Young. Young, unfortunately, not so great of a character right now. Even with his level 60 awakening that he got, he's not stacking up well to the rest of the cast that we already have. Palom is cool if you have his EX. I just don't like how he has to burn through all of his abilities, and then he gets access to to that twin cast for his HP attack command. I mean, he has his buffs that last a long time. I think it's like 20 turns, but he's just so even with his EX. More effective with his EX, but he's just so. So you're really not pulling on this banner for those characters. You're going to be pulling, obviously, for Porom, and let's just quickly go over the details for her weapons. So we have her 15 CP healing staff, which what it does is it increases the Brave Heal potency for Cry by 20%. It also extends Light Art's duration for 8 turns. It allows Porom to grant 2 stacks of that Light Arts to herself, and the plus variant has that 25% chance to inflict confusion. And then her 35 CP Mithril Staff increases the HP heal potency by 10%, extends Light Wisdom to 6 turns, allows Porom to grant 2 stacks of Light Wisdom to herself, and increases the HP damage reduction potency by 30%. And then her 70 CP weapon, her EX weapon, is called Aura Staff. It does equip that EX ability White Wave. So overall, the banner is good for Porom, but the rest of the characters is kind of what holds it back. So even though I say she's for glory and that you should be investing, just I highly recommend that you invest in her. Just know that you're gonna have a chance to pull for those other 2 characters, which are just kind of like but Porom herself is definitely worth it. Now, if you decide to skip on the banner, I believe the only time that this EX weapon has repeated so far is going to be on Porom's Lost Chapters, which comes out much later. But when that comes out, she gets her EX plus, and also Young gets an an EX weapon, which is pretty cool, and he gets an EX plus alongside his rework. So if you decide to not pull for Porom, if you decide, I don't really need her, I know she's a strong support, but I have other characters that could potentially fulfill that role, then you could actually just wait for her lost chapters, where she actually becomes even better with her EX plus weapon, and also Yang gets his EX plus weapon as well. Now the last thing we're going to talk about are going to be those bosses. So it's going to be called the Hollow Rider. It's going to be a variant of those 3 Dark Knights. So they're all weak to ice, which is good because Palom is synergy. They have no resistances. They have a chase value of 40, and there's going to be 3 of them. The key things you want to look out for, first of all, they have an AoE death, which has a small chance to just break a party member, so be careful for that. So make sure if that happens, honestly, it's you don't really have to worry about it too much, but I'm mentioning it just in case you're at a high brave amount and you're like, wait, why did I get broken? So that's what that does. And then the 2 debuffs that they inflict that are extremely annoying is max brave down. So what that does is that reduces the amount of HP damage you can inflict because your max brave is lower. And then max HP down, which is probably their most dangerous debuff, because literally your max HP is going to be reduced for a certain amount of turns. So watch out for that. Now they also deal AoE HP damage quite often that also heals their own HP. And then they do increase their statistics with something called Rule of Ruin. So this is the reason why Porom is very, very good for this. Now, the Cosmos variant, you could potentially just take Porom with her 35 CP if you get unlucky with her EX, but try to get that EX because that HP damage reduction that's provided to the entire party, and also that HP overflow where she increases everybody's max HP, is really, really strong for this fight. And like I said, some good alternatives would be Lena. Lena, while she can't increase your HP, she does have that good regen, and she also has debuff immunity, so you can actually save yourself from that max brave down and also the max HP down. So the next thing we're going to do is going to be our gameplay visual showcase. So my Porom is at her level 70. She does have her full gear EX plus on the JP side of the game. I'm going to be taking the synergy party. I am taking Young with his rework, so you get to see that in action. No EX plus because I didn't EX plus it, but he does have his EX weapon. I didn't really build up Palom, so he might be holding our team back here, and I'm going to be taking a Cypher friend unit because Cypher currently just got his rework, and he also got his EX plus, so you guys get to see that in action for this gameplay visual showcase. We are tackling the Cosmos version because that is going to be the version that we're going to be getting for the character event in Global. All right, so here we go. We're just going to go ahead and use Cry. Very cool. All right, for Palom, let's go with his second ability. And then Yang. All right, so this is what Yang does now. So he focuses, and then he's a lot more efficient now with his rework that we'll get later on because he actually deals brave and HP damage. And this guy is like a HP splash damage machine. You guys will see it when I actually start busting out some of his abilities here. All right, so let's check out Yang's kick now, or his kick plus, because we used focus. So look at that splash HP damage, so good. All right, and then for Porom, let's actually just place Mysidian Brilliance on her, so then we can get that 3 stacks of Light Wisdom. Forgot to mention that with her EX Plus, she actually starts off with her 2 framed buffs right off the bat. That's a feature that is actually common now with EX Plus weapons. When you limit break them 2 out of 3, that said character actually starts off with their particular unique framed buffs. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to try to save abilities for the actual boss fight, so we're just going to go with Twin Cast here. And if you guys heard that bark, I'm sorry. My dog likes to bark at random things. He's behind the door right now in my room while I'm recording this, but sometimes he barks loud enough to where you guys can still hear it. So that's why you hear that. Alright, so I'm going to save all of Young's abilities because he's going to be our main damage dealer for this boss fight. Hopefully we don't have to rely on the Cypher friend unit, because I actually did this earlier just to test to see if I could actually do it for you guys for the visual showcase without having to rely on it, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so now we're just gonna try to burn through some abilities here. I'm gonna go ahead and use Cry. It's so good for... Oh, nice! We got the confusion on all 3. Okay, that's a blessing right there, because... I just don't like dealing with these things. These particular knights can get really scary, especially when they're targeting all. So when they're targeting all, just be careful because they're probably going to do that AoE HP attack where they heal themselves, or they might do their AoE death. Alright, so we have her EX ability available, so this is White Wave. It's obviously more powerful, and she actually does HP splash damage because it is the EX Plus variant, but it is still very good. It's a very, very good ability. Alright, we're gonna go with... Ooh, we have his EX ability available. Alright, here's Young's EX ability. He does like a Kage Bunshin. I'm like, wait, did Young learn from Edge? I believe that pays homage to his ability in Final Fantasy IV After Years, where his daughter joins him or something like that. But it's kind of cool. All right, so there's the... Okay, so as you could see how everybody's HP is at... it's like more of like an orangey color, but that's what I mean by the HP overflow. So any excess HP heals that Porom does with her EX, it's added to your HP amount. So that's why, even though you saw that HP damage attack that we took, you don't see the bars actually go down. All right, let's try to get a cry off again. Let's see if we can get these bosses. Okay, cool. We got one confused. All right, so we're gonna focus now. Alright, actually, let's not prolong this any further. I don't want this video to be excessively long. Let's actually just pop summon now, and let's see if we could burn through them with Cypher. Alright, let's check out his EX ability. His EX ability is so cool. Look at that. He starts off with his fire attack from Final Fantasy VIII, and then he does like a spinny tornado thing. Super, super cool. Alright, so we're just going to abuse the crazy splash damage that Yang deals, and as well as Cypher, so they're debuffed, so we could just go straight into his other ability. Look at that damage. I'm really happy that Cypher finally got some love. He finally got an EX weapon. Not to mention the powerful debuffs that he applies now from his rework, as well as from that EX ability. Alright, let's do a cry. And I know there's a joke going around, but if you're playing with the volume up when Porom comes out, just be ready to get really tired of that cry soundbite. If you keep using cry. Alright, we have his EX again. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this, Cypher. God, that's just a cool looking EX. Oh, nope. Didn't do as much damage as you thought, huh? Alright, let's cry again. Okay, no, okay, we got one confused. Awesome, awesome. And they're likely doing 0 damage just because of Cypher's debuffs. Alright, so they're almost down. Looks like we can take out A now, so we can take A out with Palom. Okay, one down. Okay, so they did that I believe that was the max HP down, because you saw that Young's HP actually went down there. Maybe we can take out C here with his EX ability. Okay, maybe not. Okay, we got that one confused, so far so good. Maybe we can take out C. Come on, C, go down. Yes, alright, C went down. Alright, let's cry, and this... Oh, he's confused. Awesome. Good job, Porom. So Porom also provides a little bit of control, because that confusion is very, very powerful. It's pretty much like a paralysis in a sense. Awesome, so finishing off this boss fight, or this gameplay visual showcase with Porom's EX ability. So hopefully this video helps you guys out in preparing for the upcoming Porom event that's gonna go live soon on Global DFFOO. Once again, this is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for my next video, and mahal, everyone.